asked you guys for your opinion on what the best Destiny 2 elemental perk is, and the results actually shocked me. But before we get into that, this is Kinetic Tremors, a brand new elemental weapon perk but for kinetic weapons. What it does, it spawns a repeating shockwave at any enemy's current location after they take sustained damage. And for the current weapon pool, that's 6 shots for scouts and 12 shots for both the pulse and sidearm according to light.gg. And it might just be the perfect perk for Grandmaster Nightfalls and harder endgame content. In this video, we will be going over all of Kinetic Tremors' strengths and weaknesses. But in order to do an accurate analysis, we must assess the competition. And man, has the list grown. First up, Headstone, a perk that has moderate synergy with the Stasis subclass. Being able to spawn a fairly large crystal that can either give you an increased resistance by standing next to it with the Whisper of Chains fragment, or you can destroy the crystal for numerous buffs, like faster grenade recharge rate, or if you're a Titan, to gain an overshield by pairing Whisper of Rime with Tectonic Harvest. Next, Chill Clip, the perk that is an easy 2-for-1 combo for champion control. With each shot above 50% in the magazine, it will apply 50 slow. This perk can stun overloads in 1 shot, and unstops in 3 shots. The 3rd shot is just to shatter them, but this perk is great for burst damage and add control as well, being able to freeze multiple enemies nearby. Incandescent, the most loved elemental perk in Destiny 2. This perk has many uses, but only one main purpose: to burn and destroy. Trash ads, that is. Pairing this perk with Ember of Singeing to increase class ability recharge rate, and Ember of Ashes to apply more scorch stacks to annihilate enemies even faster, makes this the top contender in these perks. Repulsor's Brace, it gives you an overshield for defeating a void affected enemy. Volt Shot, my personal favorite elemental perk. A perk that is amazing for boss DPS, an ad clearing that rivals weapons like Trinity Ghoul and Risk Runner. And if you're running an Arc subclass, the easiest ticket to becoming amplified. Destabilizing rounds. When defeating an enemy, a splash of volatile goes out affecting all enemies around the area, for the perfect explosion chaining to follow up. And this next perk is not even worth mentioning, but since I cannot help myself, it's Hatchling. And now that we just went over all the elemental perks inside Destiny 2, comment below which one is your favorite and why. Now, being the Destiny 2 players that we are, it can be hard for us to differentiate what is good and what is mid if it's all covered by a big boom. An example of this. Yo, look at the Wolfpack's freezing him. Bro, this is definitely the new meta, hands down. So with that said, let's get into the numbers. Once Kinetic Tremors is procced, it will shoot out 3 shockwaves for 10,534 damage, totaling to 31,602. Now this is perfect world damage, meaning that in a perfect world where Carl doesn't stagger out of the shockwaves, because these shockwaves have a damage fall off, as you can see from the final explosion only counting for 7,723. Now what we will be comparing this to is actually not an elemental perk. No. We are going to be comparing this to our Kinetic Grenade Launcher Ignition Code, which comes with the intrinsic 15% increase in damage for all kinetic weapons, which damages Carl for a whole 31,238 damage. Yeah, this Kinetic Tremors perk alone is out damaging a special weapon. Keep in mind that the damage we tallied up is only from the perk itself and is not including the damage from the actual weapon. Now, where the real hype for this perk comes is in its future. As of right now, this perk only rolls on 4 different weapons, and I would consider only one of these to be a decent option. We're talking about Hung Jury, of course, which can be farmed in Grandmaster Nightfalls currently as I'm making this video. If you did not know this, I'm sorry for posting this video late. But for the future, I pray to the Bungie gods, please make a lightweight frame SMG with Kinetic Tremors on it. But for the meanwhile, Hung Jury is not a bad option, especially for Grandmaster content. Staying in the back of the room and picking off ads from a distance while proccing the occasional splash damage is great combat synergy. Now at the beginning, I mentioned a particular poll where I asked you what your favorite elemental perk was, and I couldn't fit every perk in there for a YouTube only limits 4 at a time for some reason, but the results show that kinetic tremors was dead last in the race. But why? Well, I can tell you one big factor, which is the biggest downfall for this weapon. If you are not in endgame content, this perk is non-existent. Let's take our Godroll Hung Jury for example. It takes 6 consecutive shots in order to proc kinetic tremors, and this weapon requires the least amount of shots in order to proc this perk. But while in low-end content, let's guess how many shots it takes to defeat a basic red bar enemy. 4 shots if you're playing regularly, which means you're primarily aiming for the crit spot. But if you hit all body shots, and I mean only body shots, then you can proc it, but he's already gone, leaving it to just random luck if an ad decides to jump on in there. And this is on Neo Muna, where patrol ads are capped to be stronger. They have swords next to their names. I believe that makes it to where they are 10 light above your own, but I cannot find the specifics for it. Oh well though, you know, they are stronger. Now I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, consider sticking around for more and hitting that subscribe button. Now what you're seeing right in front of you is a video that I tailor-made just for your liking, so why not check it out? I did make it for you. I'll see you over there. Peace.